So the second one is looking at resources that are about to expire. So it's going to look very similar to the runbook we just did. The first step is we're going to find all the resources with the expiration tag. And so in this case, in our in this AWS environment, there are 4 of them. And we can look at the, like, so we have this secrets manager and it expires on the 24th of this month. This one expired in January. This one expires next week. And this one expired, 3 years ago, right? So if something expired 3 years ago, it probably shouldn't be around anymore. Before you delete it, you should probably make sure that there's no data in that S3 bucket that is useful. But in this case, I just created a bucket. I created it yesterday, but I just added a tag saying that it was going to expire in 2019. The input parameters here again is we're looking in US West 2. We picked our region, and then because different companies might have different names for their expiration tag, right? You might say good until, or I don't know. You might have a different name for it. In this case, I named the tag expiration, and these are the 4 items with that expiration tag. And then I said, give me all the, so these are all the resources with the tag. I want to find the ones that are going to expire within 15 days. And so in that case, 6/24, today is 6/7, so it's just outside that window. So now we can filter for those resources that expire within the next 15 days. And if we look at this list, there's 1, 2, 3. The one that expires on 6/24 is outside of our window. So we're only looking at the ones that are about to expire, because those, or the ones that have expired. And now what we want to do is maybe we want to update these. So this is the next step, is giving us the opportunity to buy ourselves some runway. Let's kick out the expiration date. This is not something you can do with bananas, but it is something you can do with your AWS resources. So what you can see here is now we have this list, but it's set up in a table, and now we've got a date picker. And so what's really cool about this is maybe we don't want this one to actually expire in 2019. So we can click the date picker, and we can say, let's let that one go to, let's let it go to November 2023. So what's happened now is that expiration list has now been updated, and this date is changed. This step is not really an important part of the runbook, but it's just neat to see that list, the expiring list, has dynamically updated. So I'm just going to run it so you can see that. Now you can see that Doug expired is expiring at 2023. So this action here in our unSkript runbook is dynamic, and any changes you make actually changes the output of this action. And so now what we can do is we can attach these tags to the resources. And so what's going to happen here is we're going to send this update. This one will be unchanged. This one will be unchanged. But this one is no longer, in the danger zone of, being expired. So I will run, what this one does is it's now going to loop through this list. So we have the expiration tag as expiration. We know the region. And it's going to iterate through our expiring list with the ARN or the ARN and the expires, which is this new date. So I'm going to run that. It's going to run 3 times because there's 3 items in that expire list. You can see here it ran 3 times. If we now go back up to the top and rerun this runbook again from the very beginning, we will again still have 4 items with the expiration tag, but we can now see that this one has been updated, right? This was expiring in 2019. It's now expiring in November of this year. If we find the resources that are about to expire and then build this table, now there are only 2 of them for us to look at. So we have now gone through and, rescued that resource from being on the expiration list. And if you're on the expiration list, in theory, you're on the chopping block for being removed from the AWS instance. So this is how I would run this interactively. Again, we could run this on a daily schedule or a weekly schedule. I had this set for a 15-day window. Maybe you do a 7-day window, you run it once a week. And so this last step, just what it'll do is it'll post to Slack. There are 2 resources that are going to expire in the next 15 days. Come back to this runbook, the AWS Resources about to expire runbook, to manually update these dates to avoid the deletion of your important resources. So again, in this case, you could run this one on a schedule, and it'll send an alert to the team that says, hey, stuff is about to expire, go take a look. Or you can come in and run it manually and change those dates if you need.